G'day guys and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video we will be going through how I went in round 14 and then giving you my round 15 NRL tips. So let's jump in and see how we went in round 14. So starting things off, I backed the Raiders here. Thought they'd get the job done. Thought they'd do a little bit more than 1 point, but to the Tigers' credit, they came out and played a really good game. So, hey, 100% taking the tip there, but, solid effort from the Tigers. All right, next up, Warriors against the Dolphins. I back the Warriors here. Look, Warriors have been hit and miss recently. So, it's great to see them get the win. But it's crazy. I can't believe they won it by 22 points. Like, they came out and put on a dominant performance over the Dolphins, who aren't, they're not a bad team. They're playing good footy. So, great win for the Warriors in that one. Rabbitohs obviously tipped my boys there. We got up by 18. Man, the Titans gave us a damn good scare, and I'm very annoyed that we let in that last try. But really good result there for the Rabbitohs, and I'm over the moon about it. All right, so I've got the margin right in this one, just the opposite way. Now, I tipped Cronulla thinking they'd win at home there. But the Broncos, I don't know what, they've just clicked into second gear. They played outstandingly on the weekend. Such a good game of footy for the Broncos. The Sharks, for me, were a little bit disappointing, but the Broncos were they were just on. They looked so good. I thought Reece Walsh had a great game. Katoni Staggs and Herbie Farnworth, they're just improving game after game. Like, huge game for the Broncos. Really good win there. Disappointing I didn't tip them. All right, next up, couple of upsets I went for, and I tell you what, nearly got both of them. So I took the Doggies to beat the Roosters, and personally I thought the Dogs were a little bit hard done by in this game. Shout out to James Tedesco and Luke Keary, though. Anybody saying that James Tedesco needs to be dropped from Origin is just an absolute idiot. And as a Queensland supporter, I hope they do drop him. I really do, because if they do, I think we've got an even better chance of winning. So, everybody's telling me I should tip the Roosters. Look, you might have been right here, but at the end of the day, only 1 point game. Bulldogs, to me, played quite well in this one. They were brave. Tedesco had an amazing game. So did Keary. As stated before. So, really good win there for the Roosters, but the Dogs can take a lot out of this game. They were fantastic as well. Cowboys, I copped so much flack for taking the Cowboys to beat the Storm, and look at that. Look at that performance. Huge win there for the Cowboys, and that's massive. Like, if they want to restart their 2023 campaign, this is the time to do it, because that's a statement win. That was a good win for the Cowboys. So shout out to them, man. They're only 2 wins out of the top 8. So, you just never know. You never know. So good win there for the Cowboys. Panthers, look, did I think it would be more than 8 points? Absolutely, I did. But to the Dragons' credit, they were outstanding. They played a very good game of footy. It was just unfortunate that they couldn't get the job done. Losing Jack DeBellin was a big loss, in my opinion. And for the Panthers, like, Nathan Cleary went off. Luai, I think he just rolled his ankle, but he looks like he's all right. So, yeah, good game. Good win for the Panthers. But, we move on to round 15. Geez, we're getting up there a bit now, aren't we? All right, so who have we got here? We've got the Titans and the Tigers. This one's being played at Seabus. Shout out to the Titans fans, man. I went to Seabus on the weekend, and they were amazing. Honestly, such welcoming supporters. I had some of them come up to me and just say hello, and it was humbling. It was really humbling. So shout out to you guys, man. Titans fans, amazing people. You honestly are. Seabus Super Stadium, one of the best stadiums I have visited. So, really, really happy about the weekend. It was great. Obviously great to get the win. But, Titans fans, very respectful people. So, got to give them a massive shout out. All right, so who am I tipping in this one? Titans home again. which is well deserved too. On the topic of Titans, 7 weeks without a home game at Seabus, that is wild, absolutely wild. Eneron, you need to fix that. That is horrible. Horrible. You need to fix that because the Titans don't deserve that. Their fans don't deserve that. That's just, I can't even speak on it. It's just unthinkable. So, who am I tipping in this one? Look, I think this is going to be an absolute cracker of a game. Titans actually have the more tipping percentage here, so that's something. Look, I think this is going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Neither of these teams are awfully good defensively. I think Titans offer slightly more in attack, and I think that's where the game's going to be won. So I am tipping the Titans there on Thursday night. All right, Raiders and Warriors. This one will be played in Canberra. I reckon this could be the game of the round. I really do. Canberra Raiders against the New Zealand Warriors. Absolute cracker of a game, I reckon. I think 27% tip percentage for the Warriors is so unfair, but I do tend to agree with them. I am going to tip the Raiders in this one, and I'm going to say by 4 points. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. It's also Jared Croker's 300th, so he's going to want to have a big performance, and I think that the Raiders are going to have a big performance on the back of that. So they're going to get the win for Croaks. I'm telling you that right now. So Warriors fans, don't feel disheartened or disrespected. You guys are having a really, really good season. But there's so much going against you in this game, especially with Jared Croker's 300th. The Raiders, they rested in this week just so he'd play this game. That's insane. I don't see you guys winning this one. I'm sorry. I am really sorry because I love the Warriors this year. They've been so good. I just can't see you winning this one. All right, next up, we got the Sea Eagles against the Dolphins. It's crazy to think that the Sea Eagles are favourites in this one. Now, the Dolphins are so disrespected. Now, I know the Warriors went back to New Zealand and towed them up, but I think that's mainly because the Warriors were frustrated about how they played the week before against the Broncos. I generally think with Origin stars back, the Dolphins win this one. I don't think it's going to be a flogging by any means, but I do think the Dolphins get a decent win over Manly. All right, next up, we've got the Dragons against the Rabbitohs. I don't know what sort of Dragons we're going to see. Are we going to see the same team that nearly beat the Panthers, or are we going to see the Dragons that we know and love, the horrible Dragons of St. George that don't turn up? I don't know. Not sure who we're going to see. But what I do know is that the Rabbitohs are winning this game. I'm extremely confident in saying that. We need to win again. The Titans one was a good game, good win. I'm glad we won that one, but we need to get back on our defense. And if we can score 4 tries and keep the Dragons to, I'd like to keep them to none, but if we can keep them to 1 try, I'd be happy with this game. Look, I do think we win this 13+, but it all depends on what Dragons team turns up. If we get the same one that played the Panthers, they can make this a tough game for us. So, look, I'm tipping my boys in this one, but not with a world of confidence in a big result. I'm also at a wedding for this one, so hopefully the ceremony is over so I can watch it. But, we'll see what happens. Broncos and the Knights. This is a no-brainer for me. Look, the Knights have been all right, but I think the Broncos win this comfortably, to be honest. I think they're going to put a pretty big score on the Knights. The Broncos, for me, were one of the teams of the week, in my opinion. They were outstanding last week. Absolutely. They control that game from the get-go. Look, man, if this Broncos side is to continue like they played last week and the week before without their origin stars, they're a premiership threat 100%. So Broncos, for me, pretty easy win over the Knights there. Apologies about my phone bloody blaring off all the time. Let me mute that. All right, next up, we have the Roosters and the Panthers. Roosters got up over the Bulldogs on the weekend, and the Panthers got a close win over the Dragons. Panthers without Nathan Cleary, and Roosters, feeling themselves at the moment. You got to say they're feeling themselves with that win over the Dogs. But even without Cleary, I think Cogger can do a job for the Panthers. I think they win this one. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I still think Panthers have enough to get the job done here over the Roosters. Right, next up, we've got Storm against Cronulla. Both teams that were pretty disappointing on the weekend. Storm would have hated to lose the way they did against the Cowboys, and Bellamy is going to be absolutely riding them this week. I think Storm bounce back in a big way. I'm tipping Storm over Cronulla. All right, next up, we've got the Dogs against Parramatta. Massive rivalry. Monday afternoon footy down there in Sydney. This is going to be a cracker of a game, man. I reckon this would nearly be a sellout. I can't wait for this clash. It is going to be such a good game of footy. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 1-12 margin, but I am tipping Parramatta. Look, Eels are starting to find their form now, and Bulldogs, well, they had a good game against the Roosters. I just don't see them winning this game, unfortunately. So they're my tips this week. Let's go over them once more, and I'll give you my margins. Titans and Tigers, I'm going 1-12. Raiders and Warriors, 1-12. Dolphins over Manly, 1-12. Rabbitohs, 13+. Broncos, 13+. Panthers, 1-12. Storm, 1-12. And Eels, 1-12. All right, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy your footy. Let me know who you're tipping down below in the comments. Thank you all so much once again. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.